All right, so we've had Square's Investor Day, the first in a very, very long time. Now they talked about the whole market opportunity, their business model, Cash App, Square seller site, Afterpay, Tidal, and all the Bitcoin projects. Now I'm gonna tell you already right now, I'm not gonna touch on the Tidal part or the Bitcoin project that much. It's going to be one of the last points at the end of this video. Again, these types of projects don't really interest me, and it's still a super small part of the business right now. I don't really think it's going to be a huge part in the business in the years to come. Now, I understand that a lot of people might disagree with that. Maybe you're Bitcoin fans, etc. Maybe you're using Tidal. I don't know anyone that uses Tidal. I know people that use Apple Music and Spotify. I understand that Tidal is more than music. It's about creators, the creator economy, etc. Fine with that. But as of today, just a small part of the business, not that important for us. What's important is Cash App, Square Seller, and Afterpay, how those ecosystems will work together. And yes, the whole subject of this video is ecosystem, because Block is or has the ecosystems of ecosystems. I call it the mother of all ecosystems. We're going to talk about all of that in this video. So first things first. Actually, before that, there are going to be timestamps below so you can skip through the parts, because it's going to be a longer video than the usual ones, because, well, it was a heck of a long talk. Obviously, the link for the full talk will be down in the description below. Now, the plug. I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. The Motley Fool is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for investors of all skill sets and risk levels. You all know how much I love researching new stocks and trying to find the next best investment. So I'm proud to partner with The Motley Fool to bring you 10 free stock picks from their popular product, Stock Advisor. Now, Stock Advisor has beat the market by more than 4x. So all you have to do is go to fool.com/couch investor to get your free 10 stock picks now. Alright, so how did it all start? How did Block, or back then, Square, start? So it started off helping small businesses accept card payments. Now fast forward to today, and they offer so much more than that through Square and Cash App, and then obviously with Afterpay right now. Since 2017, it has grown gross profits by more than 50% on a CAGR basis, which is incredible. Now, the first part of the ecosystem I want to touch on is Cash App. So Cash App right now has 80 million annual actives. It's the #1 finance app in the App Store for 5 years, and in 2021, it was the 8th most downloaded app overall. So great company with TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, etc. Now, Cash App's customer acquisition cost, or CAC, is the lowest in the industry by a lot, much lower than the retail banks, and also much lower than neobanks, which are supposed to be much better than retail banks. We've talked about a lot of those on this channel. Obviously, Galileo powers most of them. So how do they grow gross profit, you might ask? Well, with every new product launch. And as I said from the start, the very start, when I started covering Square, now Block, it's all about the inflows. And once you've got many inflows, you've got outflows and monetization. The more products, the higher the inflow multiplier, in a sense, which makes total sense. Then we've got the commerce part of Cash App, which we will return to a bit later. There's Cash App Pay, which we've talked about a long time ago, even before it was announced, and offers and ads. Yes, even here, ads will play a huge role. And now my favorite part of the business, and that's the Square seller side. So the issue today, or maybe not today, but before, is that there were too many options and services that don't really offer everything in one place. So what's the solution? Well, the solution is easy, and that's Square. Hardware and software all under one roof. And with software, you can always change and add new stuff, which means higher monetization. That's why approximately 80% of gross profit in 2021 was generated from software and integrated payments, banking, and international. And here again, the same story repeats itself. More products adopted, the better for the business. 40% of gross profit came from sellers that use 4 or more products. And as you might have imagined, every new product that the same customer adopts over time, basically zero additional cost of acquisition. Now we've talked about the global aspect of Block a lot on this channel, and this is how it looks today. Not too bad, but still there's a lot of opportunity there. But as you can see, it had more than 60% international annual growth rate since 2015. And I bet you didn't know that Square is in the Falkland Islands. Actually, neither did I. It's super random. But Square is growing its brand awareness outside the United States, and that remains its top priority. Now, obviously, since Square started, it started off by helping small sellers. So the obvious move here is to move upmarket. And that's exactly what they've been doing. A 19x in gross profit from over $500,000 sellers since 2015. And I probably assume that that number will grow each and every year. And now the last part of this 3 mega ecosystem, and that's the newly acquired Afterpay. So Afterpay has 4 million annual active customers in Australia and New Zealand, 13 million in North America, and 3 million in the UK and the EU. Now mix that with Cash App's monthly active users, 45 million in the United States, 450,000 in Spain, and 160,000 in the UK. Not too bad. Now Afterpay operates in 8 global markets, has close to $20 billion in GMV, $601 million in gross profit, and $833 million in revenues. Those were the last reported numbers. Now they see the online payment market as a $10 trillion, yes, 10 trillion with a T, opportunity where buy now, pay later only has a 2% penetration. Now again, I don't know how big that side will become over time, but I guess it would become more than 2%. So how does this come into play with Square and Cash App? So you've got this type of slide here. You've got Square, millions of Square active sellers. In the middle, you've got Afterpay, which is building connections through commerce and payments. And then on the other side, you've got the 80 million Cash App annual actives. Now, with regards to Afterpay, my last video about it was about the concerns of, well, the buy now, pay later industry. So here we got some more stats. So over 90% of the Afterpay customers use debit and not credit, which is great. 95% of installments were paid on time, and 98% of all purchases incurred no late fees. Now, it's very important to note that accounts are paused when missing a payment. So you cannot miss a lot of payments since, well, they pause your account if you miss just one. And you cannot directly buy something super expensive. The system will increase your limits as it's trusting you more and more, which is great, which is the safe way to go about it. So what's the opportunity here, you might ask? Well, as we said before, 80 million Cash App annual actives, and only 6% of those are Afterpay actives. Whereas if you take the 20 million Afterpay actives, 32% of those are Cash App actives. So there is the opportunity here. They will also integrate Afterpay commerce engine into Cash App. And as you see right here, lead generation goes through the roof. You can see here over 1 million lead referrals to active sellers per day. And this is where advertising comes into play, and it will become extremely lucrative, as you can see from the stats here. Around 30% of active customers started their shopping journey from the Afterpay shop directory. And there was around 40% improvement in conversion rates for Afterpay active sellers. So from a marketing standpoint, this is amazing. So overall, this is what we have right now. This is the global overview of the ever expanding reach of Block. And like I said, there still is Tidal and those Bitcoin projects, TBD, the wallet, Bitcoin mining, etc. But as of now, I'm not that interested in that. Those are just Jack's side projects. And to be honest, as long as those are just small parts of the operating expenses, I'm fine with that. Actually, it's a bit smaller than 3% of OPEX. So fine by me, do whatever you want and keep growing that side of the business, because apparently there are some people who are thinking this is extremely useful. Now, as long as it makes money, I don't really mind. And so we've reached the end of this summary of Block's Investor Day. Right now, Block is a $48 billion company. In the years to come, it will be a much bigger, in the decades to come, it will be a much bigger company, because as you've seen, these ecosystems are meant to work together. And as I said at the start of this video, this is the ecosystem of ecosystems. This is the mother of all ecosystems, and Square, Block, Cash App, Afterpay, Bitcoin, whatever you want to call this, is expanding. And this is really textbook Apple, building an ecosystem that once you're in it, it's very difficult to go out of it. So to summarize, everything is sunshine and rainbow if you're a Block shareholder, besides the stock price, obviously. But as you can see right here, and if you want to check out the full presentation, link down in the description, you will see that they're doing extremely well. And there's really, well, nobody can really say how big they can become in the future, because to me, the opportunities here are endless. Now, execution is obviously key. With their CFO, with now the addition of these two great guys from Afterpay, I believe they can succeed. Now, obviously, Jack will still have his little projects here and there, but I really hope that the focus will be on the core business and a bit less on those side projects. Now, do leave your comments and thoughts down in the comments below. I really want to hear your side of the story here. If you've watched the full presentation, if you have some opinion on the Bitcoin, the Tidal side of the business, leave it all down in the comments below. And that will be it for this video. If you liked it, leave it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, maybe hit that subscribe button. Be sure to check out those two videos right here, and see you all in the next video. Bye bye.